Welcome to our channel. I'm here with Meditation Meg, you all know, and I'm Radiant Reiki with Carol, and we're joining forces today to walk in nature and talk about something that's super important that I know a lot of people are really interested in right now.
Yes.
Is how to receive messages from spirit.
Yes, I love this topic, and one of the ways is being in nature like we are right now, and in stillness and listening.
Yep, because the energy here provides us with that stillness and quiet, and puts our body in the right state to receive. So this is the best place to receive messages.
It is. And I think for me, I find messages often when I'm in a really relaxed state or a quiet, peaceful state, whether I'm in meditation or even just lying down and taking a rest.
Absolutely. Even like in the morning is when I get my best messages. In the morning when I first wake up, I don't look at my phone or anything. I don't even open my eyes. I just am sort of awake in that sort of dream awake state, and I just sit there and I'm relaxed. Everything, there's no agenda, there's no expectations. And that's the important part. When you want to get messages, you can ask for all the help, right? Like, I need guidance in A, B, and C, but don't have expectations how it will come in.
Yes.
Because they don't, it's never exactly how you expect it to be.
I feel thankful that I get the kind of like a movie screen where it's a billboard that comes across like
That's
a little,
cool. You see
it's
visuals.
Almost like a little visual plane where it's like a big white canvas that's rolled out, and it'll say it's on the way, or it may be bumpy, but it's coming. But I want to say it's mostly positive, and I don't know if that's my higher self, but it's
always
affirmations to continue. But I will get messages that way.
That's awesome. You know what? Leave a comment below about how you get messages. Do you get visuals? Some people get a thought, just comes into their head, and they think it's their own thought. But you can validate it and find out if it's really your thought, your mind, or if it's from spirit by asking spirit, is this message from you? And you can get validation from them. The way you might get validation is like chills. Oh yeah, that means it's from them. Or you might get a tingling in your body. You might get, what else?
Yeah, I think like your ears are ringing, or almost like you're feeling a vibration that's beyond yourself. Like when I have a Reiki treatment, like that day that I had one with you, I could feel tingling all throughout my body.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes I even get like a drumming, like you said, a vibration in my ears. Like even when, like let's say when I'm watching somebody on YouTube even, I might be listening to a speaker or whatever, and all of a sudden my ears start drumming, and that lets me know, listen to this person, listen to what they're saying, this is the truth. And I'm like, oh, I gotta listen.
I would say another thing for me in terms of receiving messages is through animals, or like lately it's been lizards. I think I was telling you, I've been seeing them, and of course we live in a tropical area and they're just naturally here. But to the point where I almost stepped on one, and then at my parents' house there was like a little baby one, and so I'm looking up lizards and what the lizard spirit is about, and I often
and it
feel
does have a meaning, doesn't it?
It does, and I think animals are an extension of us and of the bigger universe, right? So it's always so nice to feel connected to them in ways where you're like, oh, I see them and they're talking to me through spirit.
Yeah, that's so cool. So if you see animals, that's a message too. If you keep seeing animals, it could be animals like in pictures, in books, or it could be on the TV, or it could be in person. You know, however you see them, sometimes, and they repeat, like in her case, it was lizards.
And also numbers. I do see numbers, or I will notice even today, 2828 came up.
Oh,
and
cool.
a sequence of numbers, and of course numerology is like so powerful, and it's tied to like, I mean, that's a whole topic on
numerology
itself.
you have a life path. You've got all sorts of things with numerology that's interesting. It's kind of like astrology, but with numbers.
Yes.
So you can also Google, like, if you see repeating numbers like 444, 333, like on a clock or whatever, wherever you might see it. Somebody saw 777 a bunch of times. I mean, you can't see that on a clock, so that that's a message.
Yes, and whenever I need an answer, I do this often where I'll just say, Spirit, I sometimes say it out loud, obviously if I'm not around other people, I need a sign today that I am going to, maybe it's in my work life, maybe it's in my romantic life, whatever it is, I just need an answer. Show me a sign if I'm on the right path. And I always see bunnies in the pasture, like near where I live, and I won't see them for months, you guys, and all of a sudden when I ask for that sign, I'll see like one dart out in front of my car, and it never fails if you're really in tune and aware that like we get signs, and you get signs from your higher self all the time, but you probably don't listen or trust it.
You have to be still and listen in order to get those messages. And you can Google like numbers, like if you get the 444, 333, whatever, you can Google that, the spiritual meaning of that, and see if any of that resonates with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's a few meanings for each one. It's not just one meaning, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or like the meaning of a bunny. Did you look up a meaning of a bunny?
I did. I've looked up many meanings of all the animals, and
the animals are really cool. The spirit animals is very cool.
They are, and I think it just kind of reminds us that we're not in charge. There's something so much greater and divine.
Well, we are in charge, but if we're smart, we'll follow their prompts.
Yes.
Because they're here to help us. So we do have free will. We
do.
Could be silly and not listen to them.
That's true.
And just go through our life blindly listening to our mind. But that's not going to really get us where we really are going to have our happiness and our true fulfillment.
Yes. And I think that sometimes spirit like channels through, and I almost don't realize what I'm saying out loud, but it's like when I resigned from my job at eBay, it was such a greater force that I wasn't planning it. It just feels like it came from that divine place.
Absolutely it did.
And thank goodness it did.
And you felt right about it. When you'll feel right about whatever the thought is, the message, you'll feel right about it because you'll know it's from spirit. When you feel good about, oh, that's the thing, that's what I gotta do, that's the right idea, because spirit probably gave that to you.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So cool.
Oh my gosh, we could go on and on.
We could. All right. Well, you guys leave a comment about how you get messages. We'd love to hear about that, and other people would like to read about it too. So to share their experience. And don't forget to be still and listen. Meditate with Meditation Meg, or come and get a Reiki session from me. You can be still and listen there.
Oh, and one other thing, journaling, of course.
Journaling.
That's such a huge one. We both are such big fans, and you were just talking about the automatic writing. That, and I talk about it on my channel all the time, like that is the gateway to our higher self.
Yeah, writing.
To our own intuition, and writing is such a beautiful channel to receive spirit messages.
It is. I have friends. I'm in a mediumship class, and I have friends that are mediums, and they're really good about getting messages and giving them to me or to other people. But it's a little more difficult for me. But when I go to write, things come out of my pen that are not from me. And so you might give that a try if you haven't done it. So it's sometimes easier to write things than it is to just sit and get a thought or something, you know?
And then the words feel a little more weighted, because I think we all have a dose of like self-doubt where we're thinking we might get a message, but how do we know if that's really spirit or if I'm really following my path?
Right.
I notice, like, over months and months, I really feel passionate about this. I could look through my journal and see where I've written things down that I want to manifest. Like, that's a big deal. It starts to surface to where we are able to sort of see what these little glimmers are within our own lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can always ask for validation, and they'll give it to you, like with the chills or the tingling or the drumming or the ringing or some. Ask them, specifically. You can even say, "Hey, with the ringing, they can do anything they want." So just ask them. You'd be surprised what happens.
Yeah.
But you have to be still and relax.
Yes.
Like sometimes when I want to get a message, like let's say I wanted to get a message for Meg, and I'd be like, asking, and I'd be like, hurry up, tell me the message. When I'm all uptight like that, like I want it and I want it now, doesn't come. So you have to be relaxed.
And I think if you have a reflection or practice that allows you, even if it's like a couple minutes a day, you start to get in that framework where your body starts to like allow yourself to receive more, and then you can drop in more quickly. Because it's a practice, right?
You're right. You practice it.
There's no
just
meditation.
Into meditation.
You don't figure it out,
it.
guys. Like we're all figuring it out every day. It's a practice. It's a relationship with ourselves. And I think as the longer you're able to sort of allow for time each day, like you said, to be still, then those messages just become so much more clear because we actually are able to receive them.
Absolutely.
So
try that in the morning. Don't grab your phone. Just lay there and keep your eyes closed and breathe deeply and see what messages come.
Yeah, and then let us know.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, and just trust that you, above all, you really truly know more than you really think.
Absolutely. We all do.
We all do.
In love and light. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Take care.